give it some sound. Build up a world from the words that we found. Putting pen to page, we just let it flow. Then tell them the tales that only we know. The fiction cartel. Ask us anything. The fiction cartel. We're here to help you. Come on, join us. You know you want to give
I start recording before people start showing up because as you've watched the previous videos,
Like the bloopers.
usually Anne's like, wait, have you been recording? Of course, I was recording before you got on here.
Yes,
Stop
and I
doing
love
that.
those parts.
Yep. I tell her, I says, people will like that. They do like that. So everyone knows.
Bloopers are
so
fun.
now I'm going to go like this. This is all planned. I am going to, I'm recording all this so we can catch people as they come in. So now you know. Okay. Now I'll put this
Awesome.
back. Get it all straightened up, sort of. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Okay. There we go. Good enough. Should be good. It's recording, so.
Yep, looking good.
Okay, so we're gonna go over. Let's see. I got my hot chocolate. I got my actual good reading. Well, a pair of good reading glasses. Wait, let's make sure they are.
Out of your dozens of pairs
Yes.
that
Yeah.
are all over the house.
Yeah, I got this one. I got this one. I got this one. I got this set. I got 1, 2, 3 over there. Wait, I'm missing one. I had one on my shirt. Now I don't know where it is.
This is why you have them all over the house.
That's true, except for the problem is if I leave my room, I'm messed because they're well, 2 of them are somewhere else. Oh, one's by my bed. Yeah, those were my last prescription ones, which is funny because with your diabetes, you're supposed to every 6 months check your eyes. You're literally supposed to get like new glasses every 6 months because your eyes change
Really?
with all your sugar. It's horrible. That's so expensive.
Wow.
So here's what I've got. I've got my original ones, my original prescription glasses. And those are by my bed. My eyes got so bad that those didn't work. Now, as I've gotten better, my eyes come back around. Now they're perfect focus. So that's the kind of thing that happens. So you just gotta roll with it. Gotta work with what you've got. Oh, I
Right.
dropped Mexican chocolate. I dropped the ramen drink. Doggone it. Why would it smell like ramen? That's gross.
I don't know. I think it's a weird combo between the chocolate and then the spice that just gives it that smell. I mean, it tastes great. It just
does.
smells
It's just
funny. And so you have this, second guessing if you're going to drink it or not when it goes near your
I'm
face.
not guessing. That's like, oh gosh. Oh, there's floaties. There's floaties in it. What? No. What float? What are the floaties?
Gross, no.
Oh, it's
you ate it.
chocolate floaties. No, it's shut up. It's like there's like little islands of chocolate. Well, they stop it. You know that those come in the really solid, the hard bars. You can't even bite those things. You have to put them in, put hot chocolate. I also forgot. I put it in there and just poured hot water on it. I bet you most of this is not dissolved yet. So I got to shake, shake.
That would make sense.
I should probably not shake because it's pressurized. It's hot. Too late.
Yeah, that would be
Okay.
good.
All right. Here we go.
Just keep it
Here we
farther
go.
away
No,
from
here we
your
go.
electronics.
Oh, good point. Turning. Oh, that was a very mild fart sound. Okay. Now it looks like hot chocolate. Now it smells like chicken ramen. Oh,
Chicken
disturbing.
ramen.
It's 9:59. Where is everybody? They should be here by now. Oh my goodness.
I am your favorite. I am your biggest fan. I was here an hour early.
I mean the guests that are supposed. I'm going to talk about this all on my own. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is called the Fiction Cartel. Today we talk about being stood up. This is all going in the bloopers, ladies. You're late. Oh, that's
At
way
least we're
better.
in good company.
That is so much better. It smells like ramen. It tastes nothing like ramen. That is so
Thank
yummy.
goodness.
Yeah. I also put some milk in it too, I thought. It looks so watery. That's the other thing that's annoying. It does. And it kind of tastes watery, but it has flavor, but it's, you know what I mean? It's not creamy or anything like that. I wish
Right.
I had some cream, but I didn't. I put a little bit of milk
I
in
know.
it.
I'm a big fan of having the heavy cream in my
Mom
warm
with
drinks.
her big quarts of cream that she buys.
Yes.
Oh, but
You're making me want to have a hot
that
drink,
is
but I don't want to
so
leave
hot, though.
because as soon as I leave, somebody's going to show up and things are going to start and I'm going to miss something.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I can't
Yep.
leave.
Yep. I should be taking notes. Wait, we haven't started. Take notes on what?
Take notes. These people are late.
I have notes. I always have my notes. And this is the process of publishing. That's what we're talking about today. I have 12 questions. And the cool thing is this time, because I didn't do it the last few times, this time I have done, I have included examples. So
Ooh.
I have the topic, I have the question, then I have 3 examples so that everyone understands. There's Shannon. Oh,
Aw.
Shannon, now that you're here, I need to give you access to the seat above so you can jump up here on the panel. So let me see.
3 days later.
There you go.
Okay, that works. Well, ladies, thank you for joining me this morning. I wish Coomer could be here too, and Lisa. But good news for Lisa. Lisa has a new granddaughter. That's why she's not here this morning. So she's like,
Very
yay,
good.
I'm going to go be with my daughter-in-law and my new grandbaby. And she sent me a picture. She's gorgeous. She has the most perfect profile, this cute little upturned button nose. Oh,
Send her our love. That's great.
I will do that. And she'll be here next time. So will Coomer. So I
Cool.
sent you ladies notes. I always have notes.
You did. You're so
know.
good at that.
That was.
You.
I don't know how we're going to cover all of that.
No,
that's like
we don't.
5.
We give ourselves options. So let's start
Options.
by saying. Oh wait, heck, I totally forgot. We have theme music I get to edit and put in.
Are you already recording this?
Of course I am. I've been recording
oh my
this.
God.
I've been recording this for
You won't be
17 minutes.
It's here was so early.
And
You
I
got
actually
to
put
cut
my
that
face
off.
up close into the camera and said, I'm waiting for you ladies. You're late. And so, yes,
I was late.
everyone was late.
Sorry.
Jessie
Well, you
was
know what? I
early
only
by
did-
like an hour. Because my daughter did not look that it was Pacific time and she's down the street from me. And she's like, why is no one here? I was like, because it's not here yet.
We were sleeping. No, I was like, oh my gosh, I was writing actually. I got up. You're early. I was up early. I was up at like 5:30 my time, going, why am I awake? Anyway,
Awesome.
then I always have to. Then I'm like, oh my gosh, where's the link? I never know where the link is.
Well, it was in morning
Go
coffee.
searching for the link.
And then Shannon, you saw that I posted the thing this morning. I tried,
Did you?
and I'm so sorry. I need to apologize to you ladies so profoundly because I always forget. We make the appointment a previous week, and I should, right after I ask everyone to do it, that's when I should make the promo and give it to everyone with the link so we can all promote it. I'm pretty sure that one of these days when I remember, we'll actually have a full room. So, all right, until then.
People watch it after. I don't blame them.
They
It's
do.
Yeah.
the time.
It- it's hard to do the live. I mean, it's hard
It
to
is.
hit it at the right time.
Well, and we have some people in the community that they pop in, and I know of two young men, one who is in management at a local factory, and then another guy who works for the city and takes care of the parks and stuff. And he actually keeps it, Ben Dragon, that's part of our community. He keeps it on his phone, and he puts it up while he's driving the trucks and stuff around. And he just
for
listens
him.
to us. So he's like, yeah, and I can watch it later. DW, he tries to show up and
DW.
listen.
He does.
So I guess
Anyway,
we should
there's some
start
music.
by saying welcome everyone to the Fiction Cartel. And this week we're talking about the process of publishing. I should get this out of the way. There, now they can
But
see
you wanted
it.
to play the music, right? Don't.
Well, I
forget
have to do it in the editing. I don't have the ability. I'm not
Oh,
that tech
okay.
savvy. I can't like do it on the fly, but
Okay.
at least everyone voted and we have a song now. So that's good. So we're going to talk about the process of publishing. I'm totally intrigued as what you ladies do. To clarify, Shannon, you finished writing your first novel. So are you in the process of publishing it? Have you published it? Are you intending to publish it? Tell me more about. I want you to tell everyone about your book, what you've done, and where you're at right now. Would you be
All
willing
right.
to do that?
Yes, I am. So I just finished a draft. I'm calling it a draft of my first novel. First time I've ever completed a draft. It took me an entire year of chapter by chapter publishing on Substack, and now I'm letting it sit for a while, and then I'm going to go self-edit, do a round of self-editing, and then after that I'll go into publishing. So I'm interested in it, but it's probably going to be about a year before it actually hits print.
Wow.
Yeah,
I have respect
so
for everyone
I'm
to
slow.
take that time. I am just not that patient. I'm just not.
Yeah.
But did you enjoy the process? I really want to know, because I was there when you were just thinking, I think I'm going to do this. And you did. You completed it. Beginning to end.
Mhm.
That's already more than 99% of the people that start. Yeah, exactly. Hello.
It feels good. Yeah, it feels really good. I have to admit. Yeah,
Did you have
like
fun with the
some of my-
process?
I did. Well, sometimes it was rather painful. It was hard sometimes, but that's part of it being worth doing, you know?
I don't think people realize what an isolated process this is for us. Because this is not something you can do as a group, not when you're writing a book. And so it's like, oh, well, I have people in my community that they want to call on me for things and say, oh, Jamie's got time. He just writes. Okay. All right. Yeah.
No.
Jessica giggles. Yeah.
No. Yeah, it does take support though. I mean, I wouldn't have been able to do it without the support of my husband, he reads it. He's like my Stephen King's wife. So he reads it first, and then he goes. Sometimes he'll be like, "Well, I don't have any changes. It looks great," and I'm like, "What? Are you kidding me? Tell me something."
You need to get a tougher reader.
It's like my daughter-in-law.
And sometimes he's like, "You know what? You need to go look at this," and it's just not making sense. Oh yeah, sometimes I would, and one time it actually, I went back and I was, it was very painful.
I can't let my wife do that. So my wife.
Yeah, my husband doesn't do that either. He's
Well,
not a reader.
No,
He's a concept
he's been
guy.
great.
I can
but-
pitch
and-
him a concept, and if he understands it, I know it's a good concept.
Oh,
Well,
there-
just
so you
just
found
the
a way to interact.
understanding-
Yeah.
Just the understanding that I'm going to be in my office for 8 hours a day sometimes and barely come out to say hello. I mean, that's support in itself.
It is 100%.
I
They
totally agree with
listen and
that.
put up with your moods because of your writing. They're
Mhm,
aces.
I have no comments about that. Okay. I've been doing this way too long, and I have, At one point, my wife was trying to help me as the editor, and I fired her. So yeah, no, no. I have a wonderful marriage now, and I'm going to keep it right where it is. Thank you very much. The thing is, though, my wife, she's like the dream reader. I wish. She's a school teacher. She's out teaching the kids in the other room right now. I wish that I could write well enough to impress her. Does she like my story? She loves my story. She loves the characters. But she is not my ideal reader. She's not my demographic. And she's like, "But I'm not your reader." Okay. So who are my readers? My kids are like, "We are." And I'm like, "All right."
Yes.
That's why
That's right.
and that's why I do that. And I have plenty of grandchildren now. In fact, I went over to two of my daughter's houses yesterday, and my books are on their shelves, and the kids are reading things. I'm like, okay, that's fun. All right. So, do you ladies have copies in front of you or on your screen in front of you? Do you have?
No. Your list. I will say, just to finish off that, whatever that question was, you do build those people in your life, Shannon, over time. Like, I have a critique group. Of course, they can't keep up with what I'm writing because we meet like twice a month. So, but they're there. And I also have a friend that's a very good editor for like typos and stuff.
Oh,
So
that's
she'll
great.
so she'll read anything I like or anything I write, and in return, I take her to lunch.
Nice. That's a great little barter.
So you find a way to barter. It's good. If you find someone that has the skills you need, you will slowly, you can help them, they can help you, and you build a team. You do need some help. You can't do it all yourself. And if you can't afford to hire some of it out, the quality drops. And that's my thing, is I'm never going to put out something that I don't think is professional. And so that was just one of my levels. Yeah.
Well, I have a question.
Same. And but for me also, part of it is it's all a challenge to me to learn to do this. And that's kind of why I'm taking so much time, because
As you should. Yeah.
This is my first novel. I'm just learning every step. So this
Plus,
is really
you should
good.
enjoy this process too, because you're going to learn it so much better, and it will stick if you enjoy the process. So if you just decide, hey, set it aside, do something else, that is what you should do. I totally agree. So yeah, I love that. By the way, that's very wise, Anne, because that's how a lot of my friends get my services. I'm like, so can I talk to you about some things? Yeah. How about lunch? Yep, you're buying, and it's got to be a buffet. Thank you.
Yeah.
And then we sit down for hours and we talk about whatever they want to talk about. So yeah.
Yeah, people like to eat. I also take her out to hockey games where she's a big hockey fan.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. And then recently I formatted some of her books because it's easy to do that. So she's a writer too. She's a good writer. So anyway, you find these people. They're out there. They're just like you. So,
what's happening right now? I mean,
What?
me and Ann found each other we all of us found each other on Substack. I helped make Jessie, so I know where she came from. But that was a joke, Jessica. You're supposed to laugh. Anyway,
Sorry, working with kids.
I didn't find Jessica. She grew up in my household.
You created her. You grew
Yes.
her.
It's true. And she's one of my
pet.
She's one of oh gosh. She's one sorry. Every time someone says chia pet, I don't know why. I always just think of Cheech and Chong. I don't know why. Anyway.
Okay.
That's weird.
I meant it in a loving way, not in that way.
This session has already gone so wrong. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
okay,
let's look at your list. You got people. I mean, I can't tell you what this list is. It's like multiple. How many points did you come up with?
It's
9,
okay.
10,
No, there's
11, 12.
There's 12. Okay, so here's what I did.
We're not going to cover all of it.
I know that, but I never know. You know what? I should have just been satisfied. I should have just thought, well, if Anne's showing up, no, we just need 3. Because we'll talk, we'll laugh, we'll discuss, we'll have different points of view.
Yeah.
No, because you're very, very good. You point out other people's perspectives, which I appreciate. And that's how, what Shannon was saying, she wants to learn. That's how I learn in these conversations. I like hearing all of your perspectives and also the perspective you've learned from someone else, because I am more isolated than most writers I know. I don't go out and get other influences and things. I had this conversation with Lisa after the last Fiction Cartel. I was like, I'm not like you professionals. I'm a high school graduate. I've told stories my whole life. I get it. But when you start talking about literature and talking about proper English, this aspect of writing that, and I'm sitting there going, man, I need to look this up, Google it while we're talking about, I don't know what the hell they're talking about. It's like, oh, does that mean this? Oh, yeah, that's called conversation or, yeah. So.
Well, that's good. Yeah, I think we all get something out of this. And I mean, I'm self-taught when it comes to writing outside of what I learned in school. I mean, you can go out there and seek it and find it. So don't feel any like we're ahead of you. We aren't.
Oh no, I don't feel that. I just, I don't, I don't know if you read anything of The Ink and Purpose and Why Fiction Matters, but I kept putting at the beginning of I wonder, is that me?
No, that's my microphone is here.
Yeah, and so I wonder.
I don't think that's me. But
Is it me?
I don't know. Background noise.
Gosh. Yeah, it's driving me nuts.
Do you have the ability to mute people? Because you could. Oh, here,
do.
I'll just mute my mic for a minute. We'll see if it's me.
Nope.
No.
Okay. Let's see.
I had mine muted when it started.
Okay, so it's not
It
just
must be me.
or it's Jamie.
It could be Dad.
Is it
Shannon,
me?
can you mute yourself?
Where do you mute?
It's
I don't
down
even see
below. There's a microphone. Just click on the mic symbol all the way to the left, usually.
Yeah.
So it is you.
Yep. It's
It's
Shannon.
muted right now, Shannon. Well,
so, static.
but she can just mute herself when she talks. It's like a feedback thing. It'll probably go away. A glitch in the network. What do they call it?
The Matrix.
Matrix. Well, so let's talk about I like that you call this a process of publishing. So I think anyone tuning in is going to say, what are we doing that's working?
So this is why I had 12 specific things that I was thinking of and pondering on that I wanted to get your ladies' feedback and experiences. And then I went, wait, the last few times we've done the Fiction Cartel, I needed more clarification. I don't know if I really wrote down the questions well. So the numbers is the subject. Then we have the question. Then I went, well, for people like me, I know like what I would ask Coomer or I would ask you, and can you give me an example so I understand it better? So I went, oh, I wonder if anyone else watching this has the challenge that I do. So I tried to think of three examples of that question for clarification. That's why there's so much information here. It's just 12 questions that we can just pick what we
actually read
want.
through them all. I think the one that you should start out with is the one about how we know what to write and versus versus marketing versus what your creative process is to find out what you're putting out there. I think that's a good starting point. I don't know what number that was.
I'm trying to find it.
But I mean, I at least have examples for that one. I guess that's why I want to do it first. But like how I think it's further down the list because you talk about gatekeepers, blah, blah, blah. No, I don't know.
Who cares about gatekeepers? I don't. Let's see. Not control versus burnout. Future publishing.
Anyway, there was one about that, about how you time the market, right? It was versus timing the market versus writing what you want, which is important because it's the whole point of it. If you write something and you put it out there for a marketability standpoint, how do you know what's marketable if you're just an indie author? Do you find that, or did I totally make that up?
I do not, unless you can read it. I am not seeing what you meant.
I'll have to read all these. There are 12 of them, and they're each like folks.
There are
Can
12.
anybody see this?
I'm
I don't
trying.
know if
You
can see.
can't.
That's just part-
I'm trying to be thorough. Are you now saying that I've been too thorough?
way too thorough.
Yeah, you can do
bugger.
a full session on each one of these things.
Yeah, here I think it's number 11.
Number
You have
11.
your indie publishing gives us full control, but it means marketing, cover design. How do you handle the weight of the burnout? Well, you went to burnout. There was some, anyway. I'll just make my point, and you guys can discuss it. So let me know what you do. But there was in there. How do you know what's marketable? How do you pick what you're going to write? Because if you're writing something and you can't actually sell it to anybody, how do you time the market? So how do you know if you know something's trending? Like I can remember when romantasy became a big thing, mostly when Fourth Wing, everybody heard about it. So at that point, when you hear about it, is it too late to write for it? That to me, that was what the question was. How do you catch a trend like that? And for me, I do believe that it as indie authors, the speed that we can get to publish, outside of it being your first time, Shannon, but after you've done a little bit, the speed we can get to publishing is much faster than Simon and Schuster.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We can spin on a dime. They can't. They've got to move the whole battleship.
Yeah, so you have some time. I mean, ultimately, I think you still have to write what you feel what you can write, right? You just can't.
There you go.
Well, I think that actually falls under question the creative versus market demands, because
well, that's it.
As
Sorry.
indie writers, how do you balance telling your story you're burning to tell with writing something that actually sells in today's markets? And the examples that I had was, you can do an epic experimental novel, might not win awards, but sell 20 copies, while a cozy romance might pay your mortgage. I have friends that they write Christian romance novels, so they're clean romance novels. And she went from, I found her by through just podcasts, listening to different podcasts, and someone recommended her, and I went over and I became a fan. Just as 2 weeks later, she did her very last podcast. I was like, no, wait. And I went to Facebook and I became friends with her. I was like, no, we're going to be friends. You just don't know it yet. No, I so admire you. Your podcast is amazing. And she went from, making enough to sustain that habit to they moved from New York and bought a farm, and she's making 6 figures a month writing these clean romance novels. And she's amazing.
Well, there definitely are trends like that are just growing. I mean, you can jump on them whenever you hear about them. Mm-hmm. Obviously, by the time we hear about them, like if you were in the publishing industry, you're going to hear about it a long time before. But there are things, and I did want to share them. There's it's called Publishers Lunch or Publishers Marketplace. Okay. And if you Google that, publishersmarketplace.com, they have there is a free version, but there's also a paid. But what it does is it gives you what the sales are, what's happening in the market. So you could follow that as a way to know what agents and publishing houses are buying right now. Huh. So that will tell you what could be popular in the down the road. Or you just are a part of social media and you're reading what people are suggesting.
Huh.
I have another theory, and I have not tested it really, but I have noticed something. I started writing a story from the perspective of a tree. Okay. It didn't finish. Maybe I'll go back and finish it at some point. But I started writing this story, and I was really into it. And then all of a sudden, popping up everywhere were all these perspective from a tree. All these stories and I think there is something going on with our, being human. Yeah, God. Just being human, we pick up on whatever is we need to be focused on somehow. I mean, I've seen it happen in other things. Okay, look at this is a trend, the octopus trend. So all of a sudden, all of these people no publisher went out and said, "Hey, everybody, we need more octopus stories." Do you think that happened?
Well, there was a popular TV show called My Friend the Octopus, a
But I
documentary.
know, but do you think all of those? Don't you think that all
We're
of those
all-
things happened at the same time? These people,
I
all
do
thought they
believe
had-
there is a consciousness of creativity out there that we tap into. I feel that.
agree.
But I also believe we're also consuming a lot of the same things, and that's why we generate a lot of the similar ideas.
Totally agree.
Well, sure. I mean,
So-
you have the business aspect. I'm just noticing these things like.
No,
No
but you are right, Shannon. What I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Ann. We're just saying we agree with you. We just also say there's an and, because I've watched both those patterns too. I've been doing this for so long, but I have the same thing. It's like when, I have an idea for a domain name and everyone's vying for the same thing. Now I know that they have machines out there that they watch. If you type in a certain name, companies will snatch them up. But
you can't. Be very careful what you Google.
Exactly. So
It's true. Yeah, it is true. I'm not saying that Shannon isn't right, but I mean, you ever see the movie Yesterday? The movie where the guy he gets hit by a bus and then he wakes up and the Beatles don't exist anymore, but he remembers all the songs. And several things are
I
missing.
wanted to see it. I haven't seen it.
I had an idea like that when I was a teenager. That what if I was the only one that knew the Beatles songs and I could then be popular because I could just redo them. I had that idea when I was a kid, and then I sit down as an adult and watch this movie. I would have never done the movie the way they did it, and it was perfect. I mean, they did a great job. So I would have to say I never did that, but I had the same idea a long, long time ago. So something back then, I'd have to go look. Well, I don't even know what triggered that idea. But obviously, that's where you're tapped in. You're like, whoever wrote this movie came up with this idea. We're living similar lives. we get along well because we're thinking alike.
I like that.
So to that on that path, I don't think that you should spend too much time worrying about what's going to be popular, what the next trend is going to be. Maybe have people in mind that you want to enjoy your writing, and then create something that you think that they would like to read. I mean, you have your target audience in more marketing terms, but
yeah, I agree. You have to. You can't. It's like timing the market with finances. It's not. You have to know what you want to write, and then it's helpful if you find out it's commercially enough to sell. If your goal is to sell and make money, which I'm assuming that is one of our goals. I will also say another really great source I found is called K-Lytics. So it's k-lytics.com. Very affordable, and they do every genre. They break it down and how it's ranked, where it's moving, what the keywords are. I mean, it gives you all the kind of things that you would need to market your book.
Well, that's good.
And it shows if it's going high or low, and it's very affordable. And even sometimes, like I was just looking at them because I couldn't remember their website, but I found a recent email they sent that Western romance is on the rise. And I went in and looked at it, and it's like it's not quite. They told you what it covers now. It's not like what you would think Western romance was. I don't really know what I thought, but I looked, and there's a girl, Elsie Silver. She has, I don't know how many books in this series, but she was 6 of the top 10 books on Amazon.
Wow.
Were hers, and she self-published. So,
that's awesome.
She's making money, I would think. With that many, romance, of course, sells. It seems like it's quite clean romance. I don't know. I didn't delve that. I couldn't write that though. But if you could write that, it's nice to know that Western romance. It's not just cowboys and girls. I think it's more like cowboys and city girls. It seemed to be the trend they were saying. Friends to lover tropes. Which tropes? That's another way to write too. What are popular tropes? But those get used up and old very fast.
See, I wonder if I'm doing everything wrong, because I just don't think I've gone through that, and I've taken so many courses and done so many programs and put thousands of hours religiously into following what, certain courses and seminars and webinars say and all this, and none of it worked for me ever, not a single one of them. And what I finally came to the conclusion is the same thing that I did with that started all this, which were comic books, but as books, is what story do I want to write that I'm most excited about and that I'll do the best job with, and then I'm just going to go find my audience. I don't have a target audience. I don't have a target age. I know that I have a personal limit. I used to say capability, but it's a limit. My wife points out, Jamie, you write at a 5th grade level, the way you explain things. I'm like, is that bad? She goes, no, that's just the style. It's how I communicate with my grandkids and my kids. Jessica can attest to that. It's just, I've always been a great big kid. My kids growing up, and I was making comic books in the neighborhood, I was called the cool dad because I could relate to all the kids. And I'm like, hey guys, what do you think of this? And I toss them my current, copy of the comic book that I just made, and I get feedback from the 12-year-olds. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's just, I got them. And so I just decided what kind of a story, here I'm a huge fan of Terry Pratchett, what kind of a story could I create that I could write for the rest of my life in one world? Different stories, different series, different everything, and also fit in every single genre if I choose to write those. Can I make that kind of a world and then write within that world? And the answer was yes. And I used Terry Pratchett with Discworld as a perfect example. So I went, okay, these are some of my favorite books, some of my favorite humor. I think that way. I love writing these stories. So I just started writing various stories in that world and started connecting with people. And it's a slow process. But the difference is that I'm still selling books when a lot of friends that I have that wrote something popular, and theirs has petered off to almost nothing. And mine continues to grow. And as I write those books too.
There is.
Well,
you're doing it right if you're selling.
But here's the other thing too, is that I don't do advertising. I just do relationships. That's all I've ever done since 2005. And
Well, I've never found that advertising worked. It was always a waste.
And so like these courses and things, and so where do I find that balance? I just decide to do the very best and be the very best me that I can. And then I go find the people that are going to resonate with me. And they have friends that also resonate with them, and they get connected. And when people say, yeah, but how does that translate? I can give a good examples. I've had plenty of times where it's a trickle, and then, I went back and I was like, I've done well. I've paid my bills. I'm doing all this. I went back just on Amazon, even though I'm on all, I sell through all these various platforms. At least with Amazon, I can track things a little bit better, how many books you've sold. So I went back over a 2.5, I think, to 3 year period. And I just wanted to track my very first book. Because here's what I did not understand. My Prelude to Hero book was on the front page in its category, was always in the top 20 books on Amazon for 4 years. Now, here's why I thought that was wrong and weird. And I'm like, I don't understand. Is I had, I think at the time, a maximum of like 12 reviews. And the books around me in front of me, and I went up to number 1 like 3 or 4 times. But all the books around me had hundreds or thousands of reviews. I'm like, I don't understand. And yet my book was selling very well. I had weeks in these spurts where all of a sudden I sold, like, in 72 hours, I sold like 9,000 books. I'm like, how? Why? Someone please tell me why this works. I will do it 1,000 times in a row. But I never figured out how. And it's like, oh, and then it goes back to trickle. But it's constant. It's always constant. Trickle. And then like 2.5 months later, it was like 7,000 books in like 4 days. I'm like, wait, someone please tell me why this happens, because I don't know why it happens, but it happens. And it happens not regularly, but enough. So, and everything
there's that
continues to
whole
grow.
behind the scenes algorithm that you're always working against that I don't think you should even try to figure out.
I don't.
But basically, my feeling is it works in a way that once you get some traction, it'll, like, Amazon will send you out to people. And they promote people that are selling. And I think most markets are like that, most places you are. If eyes are coming to you, the system wants you to go to more eyes because they think that brings more people in.
Well, the funny thing is when we go back to relationships, which is what I base everything on, because it's the only thing that's sustainable. It's the only thing that is anti-Google, anti-Amazon, is anti-everything except for you.
That's all you can control. That's all you can
Yes.
control.
Well, and you can it's like you can't tell someone that you can guarantee anything. I cannot guarantee your success, but I can increase your odds of success if you do very specific evergreen things. Why? Because it's just a natural process. So that's what I followed. But I did discover one thing, and why I stopped listening to gurus and secrets and all this stuff is that you cannot track. As much as I like, what is his name, Neil Patel, and all these guys that do all the internet marketing and all the statistics, there's some things that you just can't flip and track. And that is relationships, because I did find through some friends and families who connected to a librarian 3 states away from me that found my number on an old thing and called me. And then she chewed me out saying, why do you write the books that you do? And I said, I'm sorry, I really don't understand the question. She says, I'm the main librarian at such and such a some place in Montana. And she says, I have boys come in here and they fight over your books and they steal the books from the library. And I'm like, I actually went, she got pissed at me because I went, cool. Oh, sorry. Sorry. I'm not promoting violence, but I just went, cool. It's just like when I found out that people that on what's that pirate, that pirate.
Books are saying,
well, I know, and it's
if
because
you can't buy this book, just steal it from the library.
Yeah, and I asked her. I said, "Well, how many copies do you have?" She says, we have like 3 or 4 of each of the books." I says, "Well, it sounds like you need more copies." She's like,
yes.
"I just don't, Anyway, she was very, very frustrated. But what was funny is that I had some friends help me and said, "Look, but if you think of it this way." Say someone did see your book on Amazon. Say they bought 1 book. Okay, so someone out there buys your book. Okay, Shannon, they buy your book. They love your book. They read your book. Then they set it aside and they do nothing. Then guess what happens? A year later or 2 years later, they're sitting around at Thanksgiving around the table and someone brings up the topic of your book. And the person who loved your book is like, oh my gosh, did you ever read this particular book from Shannon Haynes? They're like, no, who? Oh, she wrote about this and this and this. And everyone's like, ah. So they think about it. They have a wonderful conversation. Everyone goes home from Thanksgiving. Nothing happens. But guess what? Someone later down the line, one of those people around the table is at work and they're talking around the water cooler and someone brings up the subject and says, I heard about this author that wrote this book. And next thing you know, it goes, whoa. And you can't track that because everything has been done off of the internet. It'll track when the sale happens, but how did this? That's what I've seen happens over. I have these pockets and these things, but the most consistent growth that I have ever, and I'm going to go back to it. In fact, I'm going to post on one of my Substacks. I'm going to start posting my links of all the tools that I use to create these relationships because do you remember,
post them on when you put this out.
Not quite here. This on this subject. No. Do you remember Amanda Hawking?
I tried.
Do you remember Amanda Hawking? She was the very first indie author millionaire on the internet.
Oh, no.
And she was the one that was really capitalizing on the para-romance thing. And she wrote books. She sent it out to every single publishing house. Always, negative and no, we don't want you. And so she had written, I think, 7 books at that time. And so she says, okay. And that's when KDP just started, just broke out. So she says, okay, I'm going to publish it myself. What did she do? She spent time on Twitter, and she rubbed shoulders with book bloggers. That's all she did, was getting to know book bloggers. And she sold her each book for 99 cents. And then she'd talk with people about the story wherever. And I remember, if I remember the story right, and I know I'll get some things wrong, but here's the basic thing. I think it was around September, October of one year. And what she did is she says, I have these 7 books. I have self-edited. I've done the best I can. And she even said there were so many errors, but it's just the best I could do. She worked with handicapped kids. She had no money to be able to do an editor or anything else. So she put the books out. She did 1 book every month was a new book. And then she would try to promote it and talk about it with these book bloggers. She had the first month she made, I don't know, like 50 something dollars or whatever. The next month she made like 200 and something dollars, and she was like elated. And I remember the first time I made over $200, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. But I think she said the third month or so she made like $3,600. She says that's more than I make at my job. And then the 4th month or so, she made over $100,000. Here's the funny thing. Within 6 months into the next year, she had made herself $1.2 million, just her own sales. And I think after that, she got picked up by the local newspaper, a small podunk newspaper that said, local girl does good. She's making money writing these stories. And of course, the bigger chains pick up stories on the internet from the smaller chains. And so that went viral. And all of a sudden, the next month, within a month or 90 days after that, she made another $1 million. So here, within a year, she's made herself, I think, about $2.2 million. I think that's about right. And that's when the big publishing houses came and said, we'd like to pick you up. And she's like, but you had told me no. And it was more than one. There were several. She says, so here's what I'll do. I'm going to start a bidding war. Highest bidder with what I want, she says, wins. And we're going to make it public to all my readers. So she did it live on the internet. And guess what? They got to a certain point that they went over $1 million, went close to $2 million. All the biggest publishing houses dropped out. And she went with a medium family, still family-owned publishing house. They gave her another $2.2 million for another 3 books. And they signed her up. I think she's still with them. And she had thousands of readers in our community because I think she was such a neat young lady, so cool. And the community, if I remember correctly, a huge portion of them just harangued her. Trader, you had all this, you were making all this money. Why would you go with traditional publishing and give up all these rights and everything else? And then there was the other half, which I was a part of, going, back the flip off. Have you read her blog when she said all she wants to do is write the stories, have someone else publish them, and give her enough to live the life she wants to live so she can just write her stories. She's going to make way more than she ever thought she could before, and someone else has to deal with all the flippin' headaches. That, to me, sounds like a dream life.
Yeah, I agree.
But she was the first person to do that, to be an indie author and become a millionaire by self-publishing. And that's the route that I've always gone is I don't have to be the best. But this is what I'm going to write an article on this, and that is there is one key thing that people who want to write, they need to understand the number one rule. And if you don't obey this rule, nothing else matters. Nothing that you do will matter if you don't obey this one rule. And that is you cannot suck. I know it's harsh, but it's the truth. If you suck at what you're doing, you can go ahead and you can advertise, you can put a bunch of money behind it, but readers are going to find out. And then word's going to spread and you're going to die. So the first thing you need to know is, do you suck? And then change that. That's why I say out loud, I know I'm not the best. I just know I don't suck. That's good enough to start from. That's my point.
That's your point.
That's my point.
Don't
suck.
publish until you know this. Well, yeah, I can't disagree with that. I mean, you do have to test your work. I mean, why would
Yes.
we go through all this rigmarole and then publish crap? Yeah, I guess it happens, but
It happens a lot.
happens a lot. Well, then you have no success, and eventually you will
Die.
stop.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
It's too hard of a process to do it for long if you aren't getting sales.
That's also
Before
true.
Maybe I suck and I just don't know it.
No.
Oh,
No.
Yep.
Read your writing.
That's what I
Not.
was almost.
I think that's
No.
what I'm taking out of that. I'm not making $1 million a year off of this.
Well, but there's lots of factors concerning that. I'm not making $1 million a year either, but I've been doing this a long time.
Well, I would say that part of the power structure here is having a series of books that somehow relate together that you can sell. So you make that one sell, you'll sell everything in the series or in this wealth of books you have in the same genre.
Yeah.
That to me has always been a goal, to create that body of work, but I have jumped around a little bit and haven't stayed in one certain genre. I think I am now. Maybe for like the last year I've been in just mystery. So
But can I ask you, does it need, or do you think that it needs to stay in a specific genre or in a specific connection world? Because
it can be world, like, because I'm just mystery. I have paranormal mystery, I have cozy mystery, I have historical mystery, but at least you know you're gonna get mystery. Before I was writing, I had some romantic suspense, I had children's stories, I had self-help books. So I was like all over. I published quite a few books, but I didn't. If you found me, you found basically one book. So.
Okay.
But now that I have 4 books in one series, actually 5, but I haven't published the 5th one yet. When I promoted one of those, most people went and bought all of them in Kindle, you know?
Right.
So that's where you can make money. And then you have to build out that one book as an indie author. That book has to be a Kindle, paperback, and audio. If you really want to get the whole audience that comes out for that. So that takes time.
Yes, it does.
And my vision of what that entails, I don't know if I want to do it for that series where I have 5 books now. I kind of like some of the stuff I'm writing now better than I like my cozy mystery series. So,
but I mean, does it take the place of, or can't you do both?
I can do both, but we're talking, I have 4 series that I've been writing in the last year. I've written 4 books. I'm almost just finishing the 4th. I've only published one of them because I've only had the time to publish one, because sometimes I was putting out 2 books a week, 2 chapters, in Substack. That's crazy amount because I was writing as I was going, which I do not recommend doing. It's really hard to then do that and build out everything else I want to build out. I'm also creating audio books, my version of them, which I'm going to release as podcasts.
Oh, that's a cool idea. I like that.
So my feeling is I have these 4 books that people like. I found readers, and I am still growing an audience with them. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to build them out, take what I've already created, turn them into audio, like a serialized fiction dramas that I'll release as a episode a week in my podcast.
Wow.
And then from there, maybe, I don't know how much of that will be behind a paywall, because all my writing is free. You could go back and read everything I've already released. It's all there still. Right. And I imagine I'll keep it there. But I will publish a book, and then I'll go back in those installments that I put out and say, hey, you want to read it as a book? Here's the link. Hey, you want to listen to it on audio? Here's the link. And maybe those would cost you. Right. But you could read it all for free.
Yeah.
I don't know where that break is, but I'm hoping that will grow the brand. And of those 4, maybe I'll find which one is the most popular, and I'll focus on write all of those, a bunch of those.
I agree.
But I want to get to 10 books per series or per book, or what world that I create. Because that way I can see that if you sell one, if you get a fan, they'll read everything. I mean, I'm that way when I'm reading. I love audio.
Me too. Are you that way, Shannon? If you find something you love?
I will. I'll stick with an author for a while until another shiny.
Totally
you probably
normal.
go back.
Probably like any other
I always go back.
consumer.
I'll go back to someone because after a while, if you listen to too many, well, me, I'm listening or reading, we repeat ourselves sometimes, and I've noticed in a lot of authors that they just repeat themselves, and I'm like, oh my God, stop saying that. I love you, but why?
Yeah, right away, like in a one author's set of I mean, you think that they're going to be so different because the premise is completely different, and then you're like, oh, I know this character, I know this character, I know this character. They have the same characters with different names.
Yeah, so I have to like stop for a while, but then I'll go back and it'll be like, oh, an old friend. Oh, I'm ready to hear that again for a few, like 3 months.
Isn't that funny how that works? That is so true, though.
Mm-hmm.
That's like for me, but that's also with movies. Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
But so when it comes to the publishing process, I do like what you're saying is that you have to have your given of what you're doing to get out there. That's how you're growing your audience. And at some point, we hope to get lucky and the right person talks to the right person. And suddenly they have to, like, for instance, I don't know, do you guys follow on Substack? Every now and then I'll get a notice. Like I got one today that I'm in Rising in Fiction, which I'm always like, I don't know what that means. We get so many stats. I don't see any reason why I'm hitting today.
It changes per hour. I've gone back an hour later and I'm not there anymore.
Well, I've noticed it's a day for sure. You drop off in a day. But so what happened yesterday that made me popular today? I don't know, because I can't see a stat that there's not like suddenly one of my posts or anything suddenly had 100 likes or views.
Right.
Nothing else has changed that I normally see. So
this
how am I on Rising?
This is the same thing with my with the Amazon sales. It's like, somebody tell me. I do, but you don't know. So it's like, okay.
So what are we saying? We're saying it's a crapshoot. You do what you want to do, and maybe you'll get lucky.
No, that's the thing, is that's what I want to steer away from and say it's not a crapshoot. If you do things consistency, it's like everything that you do, every conversation you have, every compliment that you give and support of other people, you are planting a seed. Because as you go out there and establish a relation, now this is just the way that I do it. I've always done it. No matter what else I've tried, I always come back to this. I just stopped like 5 years ago. This is all that I do now. You go out there and you get to know people, enjoy yourself with other people, support other people. What happens is in these relationships, I mean, I've made so many new friends, and since you did the 2x2, because I loved that idea so much. And then we started doing it, and then started this, or went out and started, I made a list of all the people that I really, really wanted to meet that I didn't know. And I just sent them a private message and said, would you be willing to do this? Anne at Tell Me a Mystery was talking about you, and they're like, oh, that's so sweet. Sure, I'd like to. And I made friends. I mean, that's how I met Scoot. I was talking to him this morning. So he wants to get in. He's about ready to get in on this. He's like, yeah, I finally got my computer replaced. He goes, a friend gave me a Mac, but I'm not a Mac person. It sounds complicated. Dude, I have Macs. It's going to be fine. I'll show you. Come and show up.
Dude, you're young. Yeah. You should know this better than us old folks here.
Yes, jeez. I should bring that up to him. So,
well, I think your point is beautiful, because in some ways we are saying nobody really knows what will work, but if you're out there having fun doing what you're doing, that should be number one.
Yeah.
Outside of don't suck. Find out if
you're already winning if you're enjoying what you're doing.
Yes,
I agree.
But I mean, that's why it's nice to have a writers group, whatever, it's nice to have some people that you trust, know what they're talking about, and can read your work and say, I mean, I feel like I've tested myself a lot over the years. I mean, I don't know. Do you read reviews like on Amazon? When you put a book up, do you read the reviews?
Me or Shannon?
Either of you. Well,
I do.
I don't have a book up.
Yeah, so you read. Yeah, if I read my reviews, I I mean, I'm like, oh yeah, I can see how that was that way, what they felt that way. Like for my cozy mystery series, someone said they thought the main character was really bossy. I'm like, yeah, she is. That's why she's got a sidekick who's nice. but
Yeah,
but I'm like, maybe I should tone that down. Yeah.
I did for a while, and then I stopped for a long period of time, and then I remember I went back to one of my books a couple years later and went, whoa, wait a minute, where did all these reviews come from? Okay.
Yeah.
I know for a
Same
while I went to, instead of going to Amazon, I'm not always so interested in Amazon, but I am really interested, even though Amazon bought them. So stupid. But I like going to Goodreads for a while and really talking, and listening to what people have. They seem to be far more, my opinion, they appear to be more honest on Goodreads. And they'll really lay into you and say, I don't like this or this. I like the negative feedback because I want to know how can I improve, what I'm writing.
Exactly.
But
do you feel like you get that on Substack? Because I feel everyone's nice. That's not really what Substack is for.
I think people who are negative, I don't think that they actually make comments unless, they're kind of a butthead.
Yeah, I haven't gotten a negative comment on Substack, so yeah. Well, and most of the comments I see on Amazon are my friends. Honestly, they're people I know. I'm like, oh, every now and then there's someone that isn't. I'm like, who the heck was that? Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know. I've gotten to the point where I kind of let the sales tell me. I have conversations with people, but I don't really look at reviews. So unless I go back there and find out that, I don't have 5.5, if I'm down to like 2 points, so I've never been that low. I think the lowest I've been is like 3.7, and it's like, oh no, what's going wrong? And then when you get reviews that are like, it sucked 1 and they're 1 star and there's no explanation whatsoever, it's like, yeah, you're just a troll. Whatever.
Yeah. I once had a kid's book where they complained they thought it was an adult book. It was in the kids section. It was like, and they gave me a really low rating because they said this isn't an adult book. I'm like, no, duh, it's not. Thank you very much for the 1 star because you can't figure out Amazon and how it works.
Yeah.
But yeah. But I don't know. I don't worry about that stuff because there's something that to me you have no control over. But if you do want to read your reviews, know that at some point there are going to be some negative ones, and maybe you can take something from that to improve the quality of your book, or I don't know what.
Yeah, but I also think it's really good because have you ever gone somewhere where there's lots of reviews and they're just all 5 stars, or all 4.7, 4 up to 4.9? I'm like, yeah, now I question, because are these real?
Yeah, you don't trust it.
Yeah. So
have you ever paid for a review, like not one that is posted, but like from a source? Because there's a couple of literary sources that they'll give you pay for it, they give you a review, and if it's, then they'll recommend your book. Have you ever done that?
Oh, almost like a beta reader, but also
I forgot who there's one really big name. I forgot who it was, but I remember there was some discount, so I did it for one of my stories. I can't even remember which book it was. And the first part was really good, and then they got into what they didn't like about the story, and the problem was that it didn't make any sense. I mean, I would have to.
Did you question whether or not they actually read the book?
Well, I questioned that they didn't get the whole point. Like, they didn't like the genre. That's what I got from it.
Oh.
So it was one of those things I would have loved to discuss it with somebody, but at that point you have no. So something like that, I felt, well, I actually used the first part of the review because it was positive overall, and I put it on like my website. But the rest of it I just ignored because I tried to take something from it, but then that's one of those things where you've paid for something and I don't know. There's too many things you try that way. So I guess I'm saying don't waste your money.
Yeah.
You really have to be careful where you spend your money as an indie publisher.
I did buy a service through, it was to get reviews, to get something out there to see. And they had I think I got it through some link through BookBub. This was years ago. And you did
I
pay
might have
for
to.
reviews, but you had to give them like 6 weeks because they were real people and read in their time. And some they were weird.
Sounds similar.
The one that I liked the most was like 3.2 stars out of 5. And the reason why is because the person went through, perfectly described an issues that they had with the book, but they gave it the 3.2, I think it was 3.2 stars, maybe it was 3.5 stars. They said, and I'm giving it this much because I hate this genre. I read the book and I really liked it. No, but they gave it that much because they liked the book and they don't like books like this. They were
So why
shocked.
should they rank you down because they don't like the genre? That's not your fault.
Because they don't get, but I understood that they don't get enjoyment out of this genre. So to get 3.5 stars from someone that normally would give you none or
Sure.
1.
But think of the people scanning that. They're not reading why they count. I must have used
that.
It sounds exactly like the same
This is why my brain is so different. It's like I was cheering and dancing around the house when I found out that I had 25,000 copies of my first 3 books were stolen on the Pirate Bay. And I was like, yes! And my wife's like, why are you so happy? I was like, because people like it enough, they're stealing it. And she's like, you are so mental.
Well, think of the free advertising. If they're stealing it, they're getting it out there to people in some way. Even if they're making money off of it, it's probably cheaper than if you paid a service to populate your books around the world.
I have a tip for both of you. I have a tip that so flippin' well works. I thought it was the dumbest idea, and I read it, and it was from another indie author, and I was laughing so hard. I was like, oh gosh, but what if this works? And I put it on my website, and it flippin' worked. I made a few $1,000s. There was I can't remember who it was. I can't even remember the book, but it was one of the names that got really popular 10 years ago, maybe it was longer. But the book was stolen. His book was stolen on these pirate sites as well. And he wrote the next book, and he put a little thing in the sidebar that said, if you, how did he put it? If it was a clever phrase. I think he said something like, if you permanently borrowed this book and didn't pay for it, here's your opportunity if you liked it. I'd appreciate it. And just that little note, and then a little thing that you could just donate an amount of money for like people that might be like guilt ridden or whatever. And he wrote an article and he said he made like over 10 grand from that little side thing.
Where did he put it in the book? Like, can you put it
No, not in the book. On his website. So he would sell the books on his website. So if they like,
buy me a coffee.
So
if you
they
stole the book.
I don't think that they had the buy me the coffee thing at that time. Yeah, it was something like permanently borrowed, or if you acquired the book without paying it, here's your chance or something. Anyway, I loved how he just put that little thing on the side, and he said, I've had so many people click it when they come back to get the second book. And I was like, so I put that up myself. Oh my gosh, I made a whole bunch of money. I was like, wow. Okay. So yeah, I just thought it was free advertising. Good advertising.
Hey, have you guys ever heard of Biblioboard?
I have, but I don't know what it is. I've heard people talk about it, but I don't know anything about it.
So it's basically a library. You can find your library there, and it's an online way to reach your library, other libraries, I guess.
Oh.
And as an author, you can submit your book. It's free, and they check it out, and if they like it, they'll put it up there for other people to read for free and find it, right?
Huh.
So I did that. I did that with one of my books. So it got accepted, which makes you feel good, I guess. But I went to see where it is. So like no one's going to stumble across this.
Right.
I don't know how many people are just looking for it because it comes up for your state, local authors. And then if they click on it, they can read it for free as an ebook.
Huh.
Yeah. Biblio what? What is it?
Biblioboard.com.
Board.
BIBLIO board.
Yep.
Well,
so anyway, I don't know. I was really excited when I saw it, but then I was like, Well, who in the world? No one's gonna find it. I mean,
But you never know.
You never know.
You
It's out
have to
there.
plant seeds.
it got accepted by a library. That's all I know. Someone actually read
go.
it.
There you go. Well, you ladies were right. We only talked about one of the 12 questions, and it's been an hour.
Oh my gosh.
Does that mean that we
Well,
should
we-
do this
we
topic
did
for the next
meander.
11 times?
I think you should keep this list
Okay.
and just pick one for the next one.
It's a good list. It's a good list.
This is definitely subject. I tried to pick questions that I wish someone had explained to me, when I was newer, because I figured a lot of the stuff out for me. But I'm wondering if you ladies have been seeing this. I've been noticing a trend, and I hope it's not just me, but there seems to be a lot of very discouraged writers out there, and I see more opportunities than ever before, mainly because I don't listen to all the noise out there, and I've just completely pulled back from social media and all that. I just, because that's not how I find my people. I go and I meet people, and I rub shoulders with human beings, and it works. It takes time, and I think too many authors are wanting that quick fix or that overnight success that too many people promote that is more probable than impossible, and that's a lie. So
I agree.
I just
No, it's you have to work it every day.
Yeah.
Or weekly, whatever it is. You have to have some consistency and not give up.
Yes.
It is those overnight success are years in the making.
my favorite
There's no
quote.
true overnight success if you've actually written the book. I just don't think it's possible.
My favorite all-time quote is by Charles Schultz. It only took me 29 years to be an overnight success.
There you go. I think that's a good one.
That's the way that it
it's
works.
true. It is true.
Well-
At least when it comes to publishing.
Yeah.
Maybe other fields you can have a true overnight success.
You guys are so far out of my league as far as all that goes, but that's what you should be. I mean, you've been doing it for a long time. I haven't.
Well, yeah.
Okay,
I've been-
so it's good to,
I've been-
to start it. Have we encouraged you or discouraged you?
Have we been?
Oh no, you don't. Not discouraged. I appreciate it.
Oh, good.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
Good.
Well,
good.
I mean, I think you're doing it right. You have to do it at your pace, no
Yes.
matter what. If you're not having fun
It won't
doing
work.
this publishing process, it won't work.
I agree
It
completely.
won't. I think it does
Hey,
come across in the
For
right.
me, this is all about. It's all about fun, but my goal is to get the book out and have people read it. I mean, why would you write something if you
I'm
don't
that
want
way,
people
too.
to read it?
Yeah,
So,
if I you want to make money, that to me that is sort of the sign of the ultimate success
Be
for
nice.
the people in your life. It's nice to say, oh yeah, I wrote a book, and they're like, oh yeah, that's really good, and they sort of want you to say, yeah, it's a bestseller or whatever. Yeah, I make so much money. It's how other people judge you. It's not how I judge my success. I used to always, when I started, my idea of success was I moving forward with my project? Was I actually, some people will just constantly be writing and rewriting the first 5 chapters. Is that what you're doing? Or are you actually completing books? So see, you're completing books, you're publishing them. You have that forward momentum that I was always looking at in the beginning. Before I could even say I was looking for monetary success, right? And now the monetary success, like Jamie, it does trickle in every now. You see your bank statements, so you see what Stripe is paying you, what Amazon pays you.
Mm-hmm.
It started out as cents because you're only selling books that are 99 cents, so you're only going to get a few cents every month. But now it's a few dollars, and so maybe I'll hit double digits. And then there are bursts along the way where you make more, and you're like, holy crap, what did I do right?
Plus, there's other ways to make money as well on the exact same IP, and that's what I've done. So I have many different funnels. It's not just and I don't sell. By the way, I don't sell any books for 99 cents anymore. I haven't for ages.
Good
I
for
just
you.
don't. It's gotten to the point where it seems to be less productive because there is a perception with 99-cent books now. and has been for a while. So if anything else, I'd keep it up at least at
$1.99?
$1.99. I would keep it at $2.99, and the reason why is because at least at $2.99 on Amazon you can jack it up to 70% rather than the 30.
That's a good point.
So
Yeah.
you make more.
Well, we'll see. It might be time to change my ways.
I've noticed I can go up with my ebooks all the way up to $9.99, and that's way over, I think. It depends on what the
Well, I
book
think
is.
that's what I have. Like my first book, the first book in the series is $99, and the
Yeah.
rest are $2.99.
And that's the strategy that I used for years, because it's like, hey, the entry level, make it as easy as possible. But I mean, I've even gone back to like what you're
Okay,
doing.
guys.
Did you want to say something, Shannon?
I don't know. She might be talking to somebody else.
Okay.
I will say that I am working.
Oh, I'm sorry.
towards-
No, go ahead. I don't want to.
Okay. I am working towards like the future ebooks. I'm gonna release them myself. I'm not gonna put them on Amazon. I'm just gonna put the paperbacks on Amazon.
Huh. Can
I've found places where I can sell them. I haven't tested this out yet, but
Can I make a suggestion? Because I do the
Yes.
same thing, and I've done the same thing for a long time.
Yeah.
So still put everything on Amazon. But what you do is
Oh.
you put a book with a slightly different cover and a little bonus section that is just from you, an extra, and that's what you sell. And you sell it,
I
and
like
you
that.
sell it, and
that.
you sell it just a buck or two higher, but you give them extras that they can only get from you because you are the author. That's what I do.
Brilliant.
Yeah, you should do that.
All right.
It makes
I will do that.
it makes a lot more money.
Yeah.
Because you want to make sure that they have access to everything wherever I don't care if somebody
point.
gets it from some strange thing
Yeah.
from Kazakhstan, I want to make sure that I have it in that store. I don't want to judge how people get it. I want to make it available. I want to plant seeds. But in those books, at the end, saying, if you want the special extras that you can only get through me, the author, come to, and then you put your link.
Okay, I can do that. Well, that is part of that strategy of building it out completely, and that really
And I
does.
knew
take
you were
a
one
lot
of my smart
time.
friends.
Yes. Well, you had told me a long time ago that you couldn't find my ebook because it's only on Amazon. You got to actually take that time and do it.
I go wide and go big and put it all over the place.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that right there. Exclamation point. Everything's backwards.
Okay.
Groovy.
All right.
I think that's a good one to end on. Brilliant.
Sounds good.
Thanks for the tip. See, you can always learn something useful.
Stickers.
To the rescue.
Stickers, you guys. Do you sell stickers?
Sure. Yeah.
Sticker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You do
Well, you
I
have
have a bumper
No.
sticker for my dad on my car.
Aw.
Yep.
I love it. I need a new one, Dad. It's falling apart.
Okay. I
I must be on delay or something.
Yeah, I think you are. So yeah, I do stickers, I do t-shirts, I do hats, I do mugs, I do posters, I do lots of things. Games. There's so many avenues. So when you have a really good story that you love, you want to expand that IP as much as possible.
Yeah, I know.
To expand, especially to pull in different age groups. So, yeah. Okay, well, let's end on that. And thank you, ladies, for joining us today. And I'm going to keep this list. And
It's a good list. You should put
Well-
you should put the list out there for people to just be like, oh my gosh, I didn't think of that.
well, maybe I should.
Put it in notes or something. People can find it. That's a good list.
Okay, I'll actually.
Or I don't know, when you put this out, do you have like a description area? You could put the list there.
I do.
Talking
I
about it here.
always do. I just do this as a video article on Substack. So, yeah, I can
Yeah.
put this down below.
You should. It's a good list.
Okay.
Thought provoking, and you have good examples.
Okay. Thank you, ladies. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
And Jessica, thank you for joining us
Thank
too.
you.
You're welcome.
Go enjoy
I
your
enjoy
muffins,
listening to you guys a
Jessica.
lot.
I'm jealous of your muffins that your mom made for you. Fresh muffins.
Oh,
Did you see
Roman
that?
showed up in the middle of our conversation. And he's like, Mom sent these for you. I was, oh, I'm so special. So I've been eating muffins while listening to you guys.
That's cool.
Well, that's
Thanks
awesome.
for coming, Neil.
Thank you, Neil. And we will talk to all of you soon, and I will get this edited and out ASAP. Thank you. Everyone have a great day. We'll talk to you next time. Bye.
Bye.